Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another new video where today we're going to talk about some ridiculous sadness that's been taking place. You all watched the videos, you've probably seen the articles about what happened at Stellantis last week, but I've got my own commentary that I'll share, and it's getting me to the place to where I am almost ashamed, and this is something I never thought I'd say, but almost ashamed to drive this car because of what is happening to the company that built this car. The company that I've spent so many years loving. I mean, literally defending, standing up for, and loving, because these cars are so much fun. I departed from owning BMWs and Mercedes and all these fancy executive type cars to start driving these things, only to get royally disappointed towards the end. And I swear, I'm not getting rid of this, but part of me wants to just put it up for sale, and just anything would be anything that didn't scream out horribly ran company, bad company, evil company, disastrous company would be better than showing up in this thing. But it is beautiful, but it's also just heartbreaking because you know that it's gone, never to return. We will never get, well, maybe not. Maybe they'll sell this company off and we'll get these things back. Who knows? But nonetheless, the days are gone where we get to get excited about these cars and a company that built these cars and watch glorious headlines about how the company is coming out with a new version of this car with a big Hemi V8 and faster version, more horsepower, red-eye, jailbrakes. I mean, all those years were just glorious to watch happen, only to end up where we're at now with just one ridiculous, stupid thing after another. Whew. But let's talk about what happened last week and how horribly sad it is. Let's get this video started. The door handle worked. Yay! All right, so let's talk about what happened. So imagine this. Imagine you get an email from your company telling you that you could stay home and work from home on Friday. You don't have to come to work. We're going to have a big company-wide meeting, so stay home. Don't come in like you normally do. Stay home. Now, they don't tell you why. They don't tell you what's going to happen. You just have to go home that day and go to bed not knowing what's going to happen the next day. But anybody with any common sense, especially after reading all the missteps that we're seeing out there happen by Stellantis and Dodge and all their brands, pretty easy for somebody to deduce that they're getting laid off, that there's going to be mass layoffs. Let me tell you how these things go. Everybody starts chatting. They get the email, and then everybody starts talking in the company. Wonder what it's about. Wonder what it's about. One or two smart people go, well, they're laying us off. And then that starts to spread. So then they've got to go home that night, tell their spouse, tomorrow's a big meeting. I'm not going to work tomorrow. I got to get on a meeting. I'll tell you, the blood pressure goes up, the stress level increases. Nobody sleeps that night, only to get up the next day and get told, you're all gone. You're all laid off, and you're going to get your packages. You'll find out from your supervisor what that looks like, but we're laying you off. Then you have to start reading the articles to see why. And this is where my commentary kicks in. The reason why I'm so disgusted and frustrated, because I think we all know that just from the Dodge perspective, that company is a disaster right now. They can't sell anything. They can't sell the cars that we've all loved forever. They can't sell the good stuff. They can't sell the fun stuff. They can't sell anything. There's 30 Demon 170s for sale on eBay right now, and the max bid on one of them is $165, may not even be a real bid. The rest of them are just not selling. They're not bid. They're like, buy now for $229,000 or whatever the stupid number is. So those aren't even moving. I talked to a dealer recently who said he had 2 of them and said, make me an offer. Yeah, it's got to be over sticker, but make me an offer. I'm like, so what? Are you guys at 50? He's like, 40, give me 40. But come down here if you really want to buy one and make us an offer. I'm willing to bet anything that if I showed up and gave them sticker plus 25, I could have got the cars. But you know how I am. I ain't paying a markup. I'm not doing it. It doesn't make any sense, because I think these things, as more and more just sit there, as dealers leave them on the market and at stupid prices, it just keeps adding the amount of inventory that is just depressing prices on those cars, on those 170s. But when even the most special car in the world that they launch is having trouble selling because dealers are frankly way overplaying their hand, it makes you question every decision this dealership or this manufacturer is making. But let's go ahead and read a couple portions of this article on these layoffs that just make you mad, makes me sad and disgusted and frankly shocked. It's just beyond shocked, and I'm going to predict the future here. But bottom line is, they laid off 400 non-union employees on Friday, and it was via remote meeting. And here's what they said in a statement. You ready for this? As the auto industry continues to face unprecedented uncertainties and highlighted competitive pressures around the world, Stellantis continues to make the appropriate structural decisions across the enterprise to improve efficiency and optimize our cost structure. That is a word salad. That is a word salad. That is corporate speak. It is all these big words. Look at this. Unprecedented uncertainties, competitive pressures, appropriate structural decisions, improve efficiency, optimize cost structure. These are all things saying we aren't making money right now, we're losing money, and it's not our fault. That's what they want to say. It's not our fault. It's the pressures on the economy, pressures on the competitors. It's everything but them. They don't want to take responsibility for themselves. It is the most arrogant thing in the world to say, rather than just get up and say, we've made some stupid decisions, we've made some big mistakes, we've made some critical errors, and we're learning from those. We're listening to our customers, and we are going to fully throw this company in reverse and get this place fixed. And you know what? We're going to have to lay some people off. It's going to be tough. We hope we can bring them back at some point. Maybe we're going to furlough them for 6 months, and we'll bring them back unless they find other jobs, yada, yada, yada. So they could have done anything like that, and we would have had a little bit of respect and thought, okay, they get it. They realize that they blew it. They screwed up.
Yeah, listen. We fucked up.
Not, it's everybody else's fault, which is what this says. Because when they say, faced unprecedented uncertainties, not my fault. Highlighted competitive pressures. Well, it's the competitor's fault, not our fault. And then continues to make appropriate structural decisions. Structural decisions? Well, didn't you make the original ones, and now you're making new ones? I mean, you've owned the company for long enough to have made these decisions differently. So maybe it's not the appropriate structural decisions. Maybe you made bad decisions that led you to have to make cuts. Really simple. We screwed up. We need to make these cuts to be able to survive and right this ship. They didn't say that. And then it says to improve efficiency and optimize our cost structure. What I've learned is less people doing more work is never improving efficiency when those people are miserable. And those people now the people left have to do double or triple the work. So that's an issue. Improve efficiency and optimize our cost structure. No, you're just cutting your expenses because you're not selling anything. It's not really optimizing anything, because if you were selling a ton of cars, you would need every one of these people. So why not just say that? We ain't selling enough cars, folks, so we got to get rid of some people because we don't have as much work. How about this? One mechanical engineer let go on Friday spoke about the process anonymously with WJBK Fox, a TV station in Detroit, saying it was a mass firing of everybody that was on the call. He suspected the real reason behind the layoffs involved the push to move jobs to low-cost countries, noting that Stellantis is outsourcing many jobs to India, Mexico, and Brazil. Fortune says they reached out to Stellantis and got no immediate reply. We don't know if that's true or not, but you better believe it's going to come out. So could you imagine now 400 people working in the U.S. get laid off and let's say they did migrate everything out of the country, well, that really sucks, because now those jobs are never coming back. But this is the paragraph that got me the most angry and made me want to just put this thing up for sale for anything and just get rid of it. But speaking on Thursday to the Wall Street Journal, which first reported on the layoffs, the company said it would offer affected workers a comprehensive separation package and transition assistance. Okay, fair enough. It added that the reductions would help preserve critical skills needed to implement its production plans for electric vehicles. The company intends to spend over $50 billion through the end of the decade to electrify its lineup, despite a recent slowdown in EV sales growth and surging demand for hybrids. It plans to offer 8 new EV models in the U.S. by year's end and more than 24 by 2030. What don't they get? Why aren't they listening? People don't want the EVs. They just don't. There's a great place for an option to have them, for them to exist, but to have this plan to roll out this many EV models, which are just all the same car with just different bodies on them, basically all the same stuff. We don't have an infrastructure. I can go through all the issues. I've got fights in front of one of my offices right now. Literally, I have complaints taking place with the landlords of one of our buildings because there is a line outside of this charging stations and people are fighting with each other just trying to get their cars charged because there isn't enough chargers in the local area, which is a fairly, busy area. It's a metropolitan area. I mean, there should be more charge. There isn't enough for these folks to charge their cars. And now these guys think they're going to bring out all these cars. Nobody wants them. They depreciate like crazy. The batteries cost a fortune. I mean, the reliability is like 80% worse than a gas car. I mean, all these are proven things. Yet these guys are just like, no, we're going to keep going. So they're laying all these people off and trying to save all this money to keep going down a direction that nobody wants them to go down. They can't sell anything. Even what is it, the hybrid or whatever, the stupid Hornet thing isn't selling. I mean, they're not catching on. They're not reading the room. The room is screaming, it's going to get worse for you if you keep going down this path. I mean, literally Ford and GM have figured that out. Toyota certainly figured that out. Yet these guys can't figure it out. And now they're just laying off more people and doubling and tripling down on the EV stuff. It's amazing. Their first car they're rolling out to us in July to replace a Hemi car. They're putting Scat Pack and RT on the EVs. That's going to be like a turd in a punch bowl, man. That's going to be like a fart in church. It's not going to go over well. It's not going to go over well at all. People are going to be laughing forever. It's shocking. It's shocking what they're doing. And I just simply wanted to make this video to point out that they're literally laying off tons of people and then doubling down on what got them in this position in the first place. The cars that they were selling, millions of these things over the last decade, they're abandoning what's won. And I know a lot of you, some of you like to say, well, blame your government, blame your government. Even Biden's administration right now is saying, okay, we need to loosen it up, let them build more gas engines. Definitely hybrid's probably a better idea. I mean, we're even seeing that happen on the side that wants to get rid of all these things. Yet Stellantis is saying, nope, we're going to double, we're going to triple down on EVs. And I got to tell you, I don't know about you all, but I'm just disgusted in this decision. Now, I get it. Companies do layoffs, and it happens. And sometimes it's necessary. But if you got yourself in the situation that you're in, then why not just get up and say, we made some mistakes. We went too hard after the EV thing. We went too hard after the getting rid of our most popular cars. And we're going to throttle back on this stuff, no pun intended. And we're going to deliver you guys and gals a few, I don't know, 5 or 6, few under Chrysler, few under Dodge, few more under Ram, some more hybrid and gas options, along with this stupid electric stuff. And maybe even say that we're going to, instead of going all electric, we're going to go down to, I don't know, 60-40 or 50-50 or 70-30, 70 gas, and get us all excited again. The hurricane had a chance, but that's a year away. If they were rolling that out in July, they probably wouldn't have to be doing all these layoffs. But instead, they're laying these people off just to go after more electric stuff that people don't want to buy. That's why I think Stellantis is in deep trouble. So that's what's going on, folks. It's sad. It's terrible. We got to figure out an option. We can keep buying these used cars or find another brand to go to, because at this point, they don't care. They're not admitting their screw-ups. Anyways, I can go on forever. Just admit it, Stellantis. You're blowing it. You're blowing it with your customers. You're going to keep having to cut. You're going to keep having to cut. You're going to have to keep having to cut. That'll get you through maybe the rest of this year. But at some point, you can't cut anymore. And now you're going to have to start delivering some sales. And you're not going to be able to keep Dodge alive. And hopefully you'll sell it to somebody who will. With that, everybody, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.